Oh, my name is Jeannie Frondoffer, and this is my invention discovery speech for Fundamentals of Communication for Melissa Elsnick. And this is Whitney, Trey, Whitney, and Dylan. What was that you were listening to? That, my friends, is music. Everywhere you go, there's music playing here and there. According to the article by Mary Bellis on Invention's gramophone, in 1877, Thomas Edison created the first device to play music from. From there, the music world has advanced. In this speech, we are going to discuss what music is, music players of the past, and modern-day music players. So what is music exactly? The Merriam-Webster Dictionary tells us that music is vocal, instrumental, mechanical sounds having rhythm, melody, and harmony. There are so many different uses and types of music out there, a wide variety from jazz, classical music to rock, hip-hop, and country music, to name a few genres. Stores along with restaurants, salons, and other businesses often use music to set the mood of their store. Some people use music as therapy. Defined by musictherapy.org, music therapy is an established health profession in which music used a therapeutic relationship to address physical, emotional, cognitive, and social needs of individuals. Music can change the mood in almost any environment, from upbeat to wild, romantic, and relaxing. We discussed what music is, and now we will move on to music players. It seems pretty self-explanatory, but to be sure that we are on the same page, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines the music player as a machine that causes recorded sounds or pictures to be heard or seen. Now that that's settled, let's all think of many different devices that you have that will play music. In a survey I conducted in my online speech class, 2 out of 10, anywhere from 2 to 10 devices were in each of their homes. Have you ever wondered where music technology began? As I told you before, Thomas Edison was the mastermind who created the first music player in 1877. He called this the phonograph. On electronics.howstuffworks.com, Meredith Bauer explains that Thomas Edison and his assistants attached a needle to a diaphragm of a telephone receiver with the idea that the needle could be used to etch an impression of sound onto quickly moving paper, thus creating the recording of sound writing. The phonogram had a brass cylinder wrapped in tinfoil, which rotated and moved lengthwise when turned by a hand crank. The sound quality was poor, and you could only play each recording once. As this technology advanced, it was given several different names, such as the gramophone, the victrola, and most commonly known as the record player. Up until the 1980s, the record player went through many different changes, while a few different scientists tried to perfect it, but the overall objective of the machine with the needle and the groove stayed the same. The next jump in music technology replacing the record player would be the 8-track. On searchstorage.techtarget.com, Margaret Rouse tells us that an 8-track tape is a hard plastic cartridge or about the size of an external modem, and that houses a continuous loop of non-digital analog audio data stored on magnetic tape. William Powell Lear, founder of Learjet, invented and patented the 8-track tape and its corresponding player in 1963. When he was looking for a simple long-playing tape system to install the business jets that bore his name, the 8-track became a very popular option in vehicles, but had many glitches and did not last. The cassette soon took over the 8-track's role. Compact cassettes consist of 2 miniature spools between which a magnetically coated plastic tape is passed and wound. These spools and the attendant parts are held inside a protective plastic shell. At first, the plastic tape is passed and wound. At first, these cassettes were played in very bulky players, but a short time later, a more compact cassette player was available. Around that same time, a recording machine and a device known as a Walkman were invented. A Walkman is a portable cassette player that allows you to listen to music on the go. The biggest jump in music began in 1980 when the compact disc was co-invented by Philips Electronics and Sony Corporation. The editors of Encyclopedia Britannica on Britannica.com described the compact disc known as a CD as a molded plastic disc containing digital data that is scanned by a laser beam and the reproduction of recorded sound and other information. From there, several advancements were made to the CD. Not only is a CD smaller than a record, but there are many different types of them. There is the recordable CD, the rewritable CD, the video, and the CD-ROM, which is only memory. Although the CD is still a popular way to listen to music, there have been many new forms of modern-day technology that apply to the music world. In 1998, the first MP3 player was released. An MP3 player is a type of digital audio player that uses flash memory for storing files. It is often small and weighs less than an ounce. Soon after, Apple came out with a device called the iPod, which is very similar to the MP3. Over the years, these music players have evolved and are more efficient than before. You can now hook them up in your car, on your stereo, or even in your TV. All the music that you want is in one small compact little device. Not only can you have all your music in these devices, but smartphones now have enough storage to save all your favorite songs and are just as handy as MP3 and iPod. There are many other devices that can play music: radios, TVs, PS3s, computers, iPads, etc. There are just too many to name them all. In this day and age, it's hard to go somewhere that there is not music playing. It is everywhere and can be played on so many different forms of technology. Whether you're walking through the mall, taking Zumba class, or making your drive home from work go by faster, music is an even bigger part of everyday life than most people realize. And that is my speech. There's Whitney, Trey, Whitney, and Dylan.